I was recently asked to hand engrave a titanium signet ring, and I've never done anything like this before, so I thought it could be a really cool opportunity to show you guys a video, and we'll see how it works out. The customer came to me with a crest. Now at this size, it's a ton of detail to pack into such a small space. Most engravers would use something like a laser printed transfer, where they print it out on a sheet of paper and they transfer it over to the piece with something like acetone. Now applying the transfer with acetone is quite handy because you can do it at home pretty easily, but it does have a tendency to potentially wipe off. And some of the really fine details can be really quite tricky to get on there legibly, and again, not wipe them off as you're engraving the rest of the ring. The reason I went with the laser is because I was kind of thinking, as long as I can get the design on there, hopefully I can do a pretty good job of it. I've got no traditional training in hand engraving. I'm mostly just a diamond setter, but a lot of the hand control and sharpening techniques are pretty similar, so now it's just a process of cutting a design. But some of this stuff I'm making up along the way. One of the things that I really picked up from Sam Alfano, because I've watched a few of his engraving DVDs, which are fantastic by the way, is right here, this back cutting the corners. I'm not doing the world's best job of it, but it's pretty tough in this titanium metal that crumbles instead of cuts crisply. But it's definitely better than nothing, and it definitely crisps those lines up a bit there for sure. See, I never learned hand push engraving before I used the pneumatic machines. Everything that I've ever known is using the foot pedal and the machine. How anybody does this kind of thing hand push is just beyond me. I know some people don't consider it hand engraving if you're using the machine, but it absolutely is. Like, I mean, yeah, it's assisted, but at the end of the day, it's still all applied by hand. My thoughts anyway. Got to keep those tools sharp. This titanium must have chipped that graver half a dozen times throughout the process of this. This profile of graver is called a cobra, popularized by Alexander Sidorov, who taught me it when I was attending his diamond setting course. My understanding is the original profile was designed by Keiji Kanagawa. I'm probably butchering the name. He's a Japanese watch engraver. Absolutely fantastic work. You should check his stuff out. I mean, even his gravers are works of art. You can see mine's kind of ugly and lopsided there because, I mean, at the end of the day, I focus on the cutting edge. So unfortunately, I could have made the top of it a bit prettier and more centered, but you know, it cuts nicely, and that's what I aim for. I'm looking at the work, not the tools. One thing I noticed from using the laser transfer, and now I think this would depend a bit on your laser settings, is it definitely did go a little deeper than I would have probably liked. You can see some of it crumbling at the edges. I have seen some lasers that just do sort of like a marking. It just changes the color of the surface of the metal. If that was to stay on, you know, and doesn't rub off with a finger, I think that would be most ideal. This is actually engraved into the metal, which especially here in this titanium, which is a bit of a crumbly metal, kind of wasn't the best, but luckily titanium doesn't perfectly bright cut anyway, so I don't think it was going to be any better had it been laid out a different way. Oh, these letters. I was kind of looking forward to them, but also dreading them. Block letters, I usually really enjoy block letters, but because of how crumbly this metal was and how incredibly small these were, these letters, I wasn't able to get those corners as crisp as I would have liked. If this was a bit larger and a nicer material to cut, I would have probably tried to come back in and box each one of those corners in with a couple of extra cuts. But at this height, this size letters in this crumbly metal, it just wasn't practical. I don't think I could have gotten these a whole lot cleaner. I mean, you're talking probably less than a millimeter, those letters each. But at the end of the day, it was legible, so I was happy with it. Oh, it was fun though. I do enjoy this kind of work, I really do. It's a nice change from diamond setting, to be honest. Not that I don't like diamond setting, but it's just nice to mix it up. I understand why people like engraving so much. Oof. There she is. Ooh. Gotta just even this one line out, and done. So there it is, guys. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, definitely let them know down below. If you're interested in diamond setting, engraving, or any sort of jewelry making tools, I'm going to be posting a lot more videos in the coming months, and I'd love to have you around. Definitely like and subscribe, and see you on the next one.